Hi, this is Tanya Taylor Rubinstein and the solo performance coach and from Santa Fe, New Mexico. And I'm continuing on my series of solo performance tips. So in this video, I thought I'd share with you the sort of the pitfalls of solo performance, what to watch out for when creating your show. And the biggest trap, I believe, in my experience in terms of solo performance is self-indulgence. And I don't say that in a critical way. Anyone can fall into that trap when creating a show because we're working with such personal material, intimate material. And in solo performance, even if you're telling other people's stories or creating other characters, it is from your point of view because you are both the playwright and the performer. So it's a very personal point of view. So I think the shows that really struggle fall into a pit where the person, the topics are very important to the person personally, but they're not what I call stage-worthy material. And stage-worthy material has to make the leap from the personal to the universal, from the personal to a bigger vision. And often people fall into a trap when doing a personal story of not expanding it to the place where it really needs to go. Now, does this mean you can't do a very personal story? Not at all. But it's how it's handled. It's the container in which it's held in. And the container needs to be big enough. So even if it's a very personal story, the organic container and structure of the piece needs to lend itself to more universal themes. And sometimes the most intimate and personal story can get much bigger. For example, I've worked with people on stories such as their own experience having mental illness, a parent's suicide, things that are so intimate and personal. But those are the stories that really have to go into a bigger container. What do I mean by a bigger container? There have to be characters. There has to be humor. There has to be humor and poignancy. If we're looking at big topics like life and death in a very personal way, there has to be a deep embodiment within the performer themselves, where they're very emotionally connected to the material. And I actually have opened up a big can of worms in this short little video, but I'll be speaking more about that, how to not fall into the traps of solo performance and move from the personal to the bigger, to the more universal, and how your story can reach into the world without falling into the trap of feeling that it's too intimate, too personal, and more like therapy than a solo show, which is not what you want to go for. It is theater, and it is a sharing with others, and it's not a therapeutic process in this context. Okay, bye.